welcome back to Life of Bri. I'm Bri, and today we're going to be reviewing my reread of The Titan's Curse by Riordan. It's book 3 of the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. So, first things first, I'm wearing my Acadia National Park sweatshirt. Fun fact is that they actually find Bianca and Nico in Bar Harbor, Maine, which is where Acadia National Park is, around that area. So I thought this was the perfect sweatshirt to wear for this review. I have my handy dandy Camp Half-Blood notebook here, if you can see it with my light. I wrote 4 pages of notes that's front and back for The Titan's Curse. So I condensed them all onto a little sticky note here, so that I can kind of get through what I want to get through as quick as possible. However, if you want to see all my notes, all my thoughts, you can read them on my blog, lifeofbri.com, and I'll put that right here for you. So you can go there, check it out, read all my thoughts on The Titan's Curse, as well as the Sea of Monsters and the Lightning Thief. But let's get right into things. So the first thing is just some basics. I haven't read The Titan's Curse in a really long time. I always read The Lightning Thief about once a year and then just skip the rest of the books because The Lightning Thief will always hold like a nostalgic place in my heart. But I forgot how much I love this book. Actually, I'm not going to say that because I started The Battle of the Labyrinth and I really love that one. But this one's pretty high up there on my list of Riordan books. It's so fast-paced, it's so action-packed, I feel like it never stops. I flew through it in a couple of days, and I just don't do that anymore. I'm old, I have a job, I don't have time to read very often, so it was amazing anytime I can kind of breeze through a book, and this one made me feel like I was 12 years old again, just flying through them at night. But on to my thoughts. The very first thing, when I reread books, I tend to kind of grab onto something and kind of stick to it. And this time, rereading The Titan's Curse, it was Bianca. I think Bianca kind of gets pushed to the back burner a lot because Nico kind of takes the spotlight in the rest of the books. Bianca's really only in this one, even though she kind of haunts the narrative for Nico later on, and for Percy as well. But in this book, her decision to become a hunter of Artemis really just stuck to me and stuck with me a lot. I was thinking why she would make this decision, why she made it so quickly. It was hasty, it's irresponsible, it's kind of selfish, but the more I thought about it, the more I kind of came to the conclusion that she deserves to be irresponsible and she deserves to be selfish. I mean, she's kind of been pushed around by Hades for the last 100 years or so, so she deserves to be all these things. And really, it's the first time in her life that she's given the option or the choice to do something with her life that's solely for her. So why wouldn't she grab onto it? She's so young. It's just the first time she gets to kind of do something for her. So of course she's going to make that decision. And it's a decision that rids herself of the most responsibility as well. So she can kind of just focus on herself and not Nico, who she's been trying to protect and just maintain and be like this parental figure to for so long, that she can finally just like find some freedom and servitude, which moves on to our next thing is Talia. Talia is kind of the opposite of Bianca. She makes her decision to join the Hunters of Artemis. It takes her a while. She takes her time. She thinks about it. It's a very responsible decision. It's a very selfless decision because once she makes that decision for herself, it gives Camp Half-Blood more time to prepare because she's not the child of the prophecy. So it gives them time to prepare for Kronos. And it also kind of rids herself of the glory of being the child of the prophecy, as well as the glory of being a daughter of Zeus. She kind of strips herself of those titles and what she was kind of deserved, or her birthrights, and kind of gives them away in order to become a hunter of Artemis. But that's not to say she doesn't get anything out of the decision, because as she kind of says, it's not going to be her decision whether she saves Olympus or razes it to the ground. She kind of rids herself of that responsibility, and that's a selfish thing on her part, she kind of shucks that off onto Percy, who accepts it because he doesn't want Nico to be that person. So he accepts that responsibility. But just the difference between Bianca and Talia and their decisions really stuck with me, really gripped me. I thought about them a long time. I wrote a lot of notes about them. And I just really like that kind of making them foils of each other. But also it made me think a lot about Talia and Luke, because Luke very much is searching for the glory. We talked a lot about it in my Sea of Monsters review. But because Talia gives up her glory, it kind of shows the difference between her and Luke. Why Talia can't be manipulated or won't be manipulated by Kronos is because she's willing to step aside. She knows herself. She is well aware of her opportunities to be manipulated, and that she can, and that she has these biases, and that she is scorned by the gods, that she has that in her heart. And she's willing to take a step back, acknowledge herself, and be like, this is not going to be my decision. She becomes a hunter of Artemis and is forever 15. However, Luke is not self-aware at all. He lets himself be manipulated by Kronos. He has to be at the forefront. He wants that attention. He wants that glory. He wants the power. He just wants to be acknowledged. And because of that, he can be manipulated. So I thought a lot about that as well. And finally, I'm going to read this from my blog because I wrote it really well. And you know what? Instead of trying to read it, or instead of trying to recite it from memory, I'm just going to read it off. While I thought The Lightning Thief showed Percy becoming a hero and the Sea of Monsters defined the hero he'll become, I believe that the Titan's Curse solidified the hero Percy wants to be. Through Zoe's story, he sees the damage heroes can do, the wreckage they leave behind in their quest for glory. He sees the hurt they can cause to people who care about them. He doesn't want to be that kind of demigod. He shows he's a different demigod. He earns the respect of Zoe and Artemis. He'll be better than Hercules because he's not seeking glory but doing what's right. He's protecting humanity. So with that, those are all the points I wanted to get to. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, you can put them down below in the comments. I would love to read them and maybe make a follow-up video if that's something you want to see. Like I said, you can find all my other reviews on lifeofbrybooks.com, where I write all my thoughts about the books I read. I don't have a video for The Lightning Thief, but if you want me to make one, I can go back and reread my blog post and get some ideas down and make one of those. If you're interested, let me know. The next book I'll be reading is going to be The Court of the Dead, not Battle of the Labyrinth. So I'm reading Court of the Dead. That's the latest Nico D'Angelo book. I love Nico. I named my dog after Nico. And kind of a spoiler, but not a spoiler, I love The Sun and the Star. I would rank that pretty high on my list of Riordan books. I adored it so much. I know a lot of people hated it, but I personally loved it. The Court of the Dead is not giving me the same vibes. It's kind of giving me cheesy, but I'll save all my thoughts for the video once I'm done. I'm sure I'll have plenty of notes. And I'm also going to be rewatching the Percy Jackson TV show. So maybe I'll do like an episode by episode or like every 3 episode kind of a video as well, talking about that, because I also like the TV show. I did not hate it the way a lot of OG Percy Jackson fans hated it. So I'll give my thoughts on that too. Let me know if there's anything that you guys want to see on this channel. I'm trying to up the quality. Now I almost dropped my phone. But I'm trying to up the quality and get some ideas for other videos besides book reviews, because I'm a very slow reader. So if you have any ideas, leave them down below. And that's all for today. See ya!